Hey there. So today I'm going to talk about something that's pretty near and dear to my heart. I spoke of it a lot in my 7-day devotional, Daring Yes. It's all about saying yes to your kids. Now, let me explain. I get it. Our kids need to hear the word no. This is not about instant gratification, absolutely zero boundaries, and always saying yes every time we're in the dollar bin at Target, right? No, sometimes the answer is no. But what I'm encouraging you today is saying yes to those decisions that help them become independent little humans that know how to make good choices for their life. Because sometimes I'm saying no simply because I'm trying to control. And that's not about them. That's about me. Let me explain. When my kids were younger, it was actually appropriate for me to control, right? It's appropriate for me to hold their hand and walk across the street. It's appropriate for, me to not allow them to cook on a hot stove. But as they get older, all of those no's, actually it's more appropriate for me to release the control and give a few more yes. And I don't know what age and stage you're in, but at every little season, it is important to check your no answers to your kiddos and make sure that it's truly about them and not about you. So let me give you an example. My 12-year-old asked the other day if her and her sister, who's 8, could take the dog and walk her around the neighborhood. Really, the appropriate answer for the stage of life that she's in is yes. She's got a cell phone. I'm basically GPS tracking her. Yes. But what tended to rise up in me was fear. I had this whole idea of all these worst case scenarios that could happen, and I wanted to say no. But Mom, am I really in control of the random car that might be driving recklessly on the road? Am I really in control of some dreaded disease or sickness that she might pick up along the way from, I don't even know, the little viruses and bacteria that are in the air? No. Sometimes we think we're in a whole lot more control than we actually are, and we say no, being handcuffed in fear, instead of saying yes and being set free, not only for our own joy and peace of mind, but also for the ability for them to grow and become the people that God has created them to be. Let me read you this passage of scripture that might seem odd, but it really has spoken to me in this area of saying yes to the right things for my kids. It's found in Exodus chapter 4. I'm going to read it to you. It says, "Then the Lord asked him," and we're talking about Moses. This is the Old Testament. But God spoke to Moses and he said, "What's in your hand?" "A shepherd's staff," Moses replied. "Throw it down on the ground," the Lord told him. So Moses threw down the staff and it turned into a snake. So what's my point here? Well, first of all, Moses' staff, it was something that he needed. It was something he probably felt responsible for. It was something simple. Didn't seem like a big deal. I feel responsible for my kids. I love them. I need them. It's not that big of a deal. It's like appropriate. I'm their mom. It's in my hand. But then God asked Moses to throw it down, and he turned it into a snake. Now, here's the thing. Obviously, that's not what's going to happen with our kids. But the point here is that when put in God's hands, he can do anything. He went on through the scriptures to perform many miracles with that staff that Moses had in his hands that he gave to God. And so as I'm saying yes to my kids, what I'm really doing is I'm saying, yes, God, you love my babies even more than I do. So yes, here they are. They're yours. Go ahead, baby girl. Go walk around the block. And I want you to know she was fine. She had a great time, and honestly, she was super proud. And it's become a little chore that she's loved doing, taking a little of responsibility, building her confidence, and helping her become the little girl that God has created her to be, with the simple choice of yes. Yes, you can. So I know that this one can be a toughie, and I don't know what it is for you. It can be as simple as saying yes to letting those toddlers play with Play-Doh. But whatever it is, I encourage you to be set free from the handcuffs of no, and give your babies to God so that you too can be free with yes.